note to self, make sure you have everything before you click the live button. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 38th favorite dad in the family community, Papa West, Jacob West, here for another exciting episode of TMG Takes the Field, our weekly show where we talk about sports. Mainly just football, but sports in general. I'm out of breath after that. I realized I forgot the trophy that I am to present the winner of the yearly competition Tato and I have partook in. And I forgot to do that, so I had to rush during that little countdown timer. Super professional show, Papa. Let's go. But anyways, I am Papa West, Jacob West. I already said that, but I don't care. College football, that's still going on. FCS championship just happened earlier today. Montana State beat Illinois State 35-34 in overtime. Very exciting finish. Congratulations, Montana State, on that win. But we're not here to talk about FCS championship. We're here to talk about the NFL, the National Football League, the professionals. And we had our final week, week 18, and what a week it was. Every game mattered except for one. The one game that didn't matter, it happened on Saturday. The Buccaneers beat the Panthers. That game did not matter, but the rest of the games mattered. Seahawks beat the 49ers. Texans beat the Colts. Giants beat the Cowboys. Browns beat the Bengals. Myles Garrett got that sack. Record holder for most sacks in an NFL season. 23. It's a normal number, not 22 and a half. Falcons beat the Saints. Vikings beat the Packers. Jaguars beat the Titans. Rams beat the Cardinals. Broncos beat the Chargers. Commanders beat the Eagles. Raiders beat the Chiefs. Patriots beat the Dolphins. Lions beat the Bears. Bills beat the Jets. And then the Steelers beat the Ravens. A lot of exciting games. Again, every game mattered except for that one that we just talked about. But let's get our favorite starch in here. Tato, how's it going?
I am doing fantastic. Things are coming up pretty Tato in I would say things are coming up all of our ways. You and I getting those 2 and 3 seed, we get to host a playoff game. What more do you want out of your NFL team? Except maybe not hosting a playoff game in the first week of the playoffs. We'll see what happens with that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm doing good. Won another fantasy championship, so undefeated in fantasy over the past 2 years. I'll say that.
Undefeated in championship games, because I beat you like twice during the regular season. So you can't say you're undefeated for 2 years.
Yeah, I used the wrong word. I'm bad. Train.
All right. Well, I don't know what most of him was saying about not hosting a playoff game, because both our teams are hosting a playoff game. But what can I ask of the NFL? For the Eagles to play consecutive home games at least once this season. Why do I have to wait for the first round of the playoffs just for us to play 2 straight home games all season? But hey, thankfully we do. But we have had all year a lot of random people join the video to make predictions over the week. And it seems like the whole season they were chasing something, because in week 1, we had everybody's favorite fire person, Jay Burns, throwing a 75% accuracy in week 1. The only person who got close was Jeremy Potters, because he hit 75% his 12th time on the show. And it got to the point where I'm like, I can't let this go for you because you already had too many chances. But Jay, how does it feel knowing that you're better than everybody else?
Well, I already knew that. But no, like it was really cool, man. I just had a feeling that things would go my way, and they did.
Well, that's good. Good to hear. And as everyone knows, Tato and I have been having a competition all year. Last year, it went all the way up until week 18. This year, it was done by week 12. But we had with this week, I finished at 9-7, Tato at 11-5, making our final records. Tato 175-97, Papa 161-11. So Tato, congratulations. 2 years in a row, you have outpredicted me. And so for the win, I have your oatmeal cream pie.
Woo!
Catch.
I wish we planned that better.
I know, right? I planned it as the timer was going down and the music started. But no, Jay, any thoughts on this previous week of NFL football?
I know what I'm adding to my Walmart order right now.
Yeah, so I saw a lot of Niners fans bitching about, oh, we didn't have this player, we didn't have this player. Remember how we whooped your ass in the very beginning of the season? It's going to happen again, and now they're crying. Now they're just all over the place crying. And I'm like, well, don't suck, bro. Come on, my naysayer. But that was really the only game I watched this week. I saw that the Raiders beat Kansas City, and I was like, well, the rest don't even have anybody to favor in either one of those. I saw that Pete Carroll got fired. That was wild. Knew that was going to happen, though, especially with the way that the Raiders have been playing this season. But outside of that, no, that Hawks game was fantastic. I know there was only 16 total points scored, but golly, man, that shit was fun. And I was at work.
Yeah. So we did have some firings happen. We had one happen Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. The Falcons did fire Raheem Morris, their 2-year head coach.
Let the man enjoy the W for the night.
I know, right? So crazy stats. The Falcons were eliminated from the playoffs at like the beginning of December. And they finished the season tied for the best record in their division. Like 4 straight wins to end the season is wild. One of those making the team that won Saturday lose a playoff spot, which is wild too. No, a lot of changes happening in the Falcons office. Not only does Raheem Morris lose his job, they also fired their GM and then also their CEO. Supposedly they're supposed to be hiring Matt Ryan as like head of football operations, but we will definitely see what they do in the near future at GM, coach, and just front office in general. That was the only firing on Sunday. Monday we did have a couple others. Again, like Jay was saying, Pete Carroll, after one season as the Oakland Raiders head coach, he was let go. We did also have Kevin Stefanski of the Browns. I believe 2 Coach of the Year awards, but unfortunately a very lackluster year this year. 18 different quarterbacks? Okay, 4, but was it 4? 3? Too many. That's the real answer. He has been let go. Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon was fired later today. I did see something on like a NFC East meme page saying that he was the previous NFL offensive coordinator. And then I proceeded to read the comments, and everyone's like, bring him back. He's better than Steichen. And I'm like, come on, people. He was the defensive coordinator. Let's learn to look stuff up before we just post randomly. Both Jim Irsay and Shane Steichen of the Colts are keeping their jobs. They are not being let go. And then Joe Shane, GM of the Giants, also has been told he is staying for next year. Giants obviously did let go of Brian Daboll during the season, so there will be some continuity there. I think that's everybody. Tato, am I forgetting anyone?
One sec. I feel like maybe one.
All right, while you're thinking about that, what's Leslie Higgins going to do? He's the director of football operations.
Ew. Let's see. We got. Gannon, Carroll, Stefanski, Brian Callahan, Titans.
That was middle of the season though.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. So yeah,
well, we mentioned Dable, so
yeah. So yeah, it looks like 3 today or three on Monday. It is Monday. Wow, Jacob. Yes. 3 today, 1 yesterday, 2 in the middle of the season. And again, there's still some speculation, especially out of the AFC North, of one head coach who is his team's no longer playing. Zach Taylor also has been told he's staying. Speaking of the AFC North, that's a big mistake. Mike McDaniels has been told he's staying. That's a huge mistake. But we're going to quit talking about people losing their jobs.
Even if it's my guy. He's going to come around.
Yes. But no, there are also some playoff teams in the playoffs who have some coaching question marks. We'll definitely hear some more in the next couple of months. And we'll be breaking it here at Takes the Field. So I'm going to go over how everyone did at the end of the season, division standings, a couple things that I got right. And then I have a playoff special for everybody. So talking a little bit about how the teams did that made the playoffs and how we think they're going to do. And then we're going to predict some week 1 playoff matchups. So as far as finishings go in the AFC East, we have the Pats winning it at 14-3. Bills got second at 12-5. And then the Dolphins and Jets. Fun fact, Papa got the Dolphins and Jets right. Not their records, but their standings. In the North, we had the Steelers winning it, then the Ravens, then the Bengals and Browns. I got the last two right again. The AFC South, I got none of that right. We had the Jags winning, and then the Texans, Colts, and then the Titans finishing in last place. And then the West, we had the Broncos winning it, Chargers getting in second, Chiefs at third, and then the Raiders being in last place, which I correctly predicted the Raiders. In the NFC, the East, the Eagles, first back-to-back champions in like 30 years, which I got right, called it. Cowboys at second, Commanders in third, and Giants in last place. The North was a complete flip of last year. Bears winning it, Packers getting second, Vikings third, Lions fourth. Also, fun fact, the last 3 place teams basically had the same record. 9-8, 9-8, and then 9-7-1.
I said it. I can't recall. I'm going to pretend that I said it, though. When that Packers-Cowboys tie happened, I said it was going to matter, and it did.
It did 100% matter. Also, the only conference every team finished with the winning record. That's got to say something, right? The AFC South, I correctly predicted the AFC South. All year I said, man, the Panthers are going to win this division. I don't know how, but they are going to win the division. They technically won the division. Technically, the Buccaneers finished in second. Technically, the Falcons finished third. And then the Saints finished in last place. So I correctly predicted that one. And I did correctly predict the Buccaneers record. I did have them finishing at 8-9.
Technically correct. The best.
Technically, the best kind of correct. I do think it's kind of funny. Any team in the NFC North would have won the NFC South. Everyone with a winning record in the North. Nobody had a winning record in the South. And then the West, I also correctly predicted the West. Some people say the best conference. I knew exactly how it was going to finish. Seahawks won it. Rams second place. 49ers third place. And then the Cardinals finished in dead last. I don't have an exact order for the draft because a lot of that's still up in the air. But your Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, will have the number 1 overall pick. A lot of speculation out that is going to be Fernando Mendoza. So they need to get a coach who can build a quarterback into a winner.
I have an idea. What
I'm about
about
to say-
Fernando Mendoza's coach?
I heard today that some people are wanting to get. I'm just now blanking on his name, but head coach from Indiana. They want him to be the head coach.
Chino or something, Tato Lore?
No,
Perhaps. No? Or am I totally off?
I think you're completely off. I'm gonna look it up real quick. But yeah, it'd just be wild if the guy who has had the craziest couple years, Kurt Signetti. That's right. It'd be wild. Kurt Signetti having a crazy 2 years, taking Indiana from last place in the Big Ten to the number 1 overall seed, essentially 2 years in a row, because they were up there last year too, to going to the Raiders to still play with Fernando Mendoza. That would be wild. I don't think any college coaches are coming to the NFL, at least to be a head coach, but we'll see. And then I will say, too, as far as playoff predictions went for me, I was right on 2. I correctly predicted that the Panthers would be the number 4 seed and the Rams would be the number 5 seed. So not only did I correctly predict 2 seedings, I correctly predicted a matchup. Little fun pat on the back there. But in our playoffs, we do have your number 1 seed for the AFC is the Broncos. Your number 1 seed for the NFC is the Seahawks.
Bitch pigeon.
Both teams did earn that first round bye. In the AFC, we have your 2, the New England Patriots. 3 is the Jags. 4 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. 5 is the Houston Texans. 6 is the Buffalo Bills. 7 is the LA Chargers. So we have Patriots versus Chargers, Jags versus Bills, and then Steelers versus Texans. In the NFC, the Bears finished as the 2 seed, Eagles finished at the 3 seed, Panthers finished at the 4 seed, Rams at 5, 49ers at 6, Packers at 7. So it'll be Bears, Packers, Eagles, 49ers, and Panthers, Rams. Fun fact, of those 3 games, 2 of those have happened. 1 twice. And so then I just want to kind of give a little breakdown of our playoff teams. So for the AFC, again, Denver did finish as your number 1 overall seed with a 14-3 record. They did finish off the season with a 2-game win streak. They went 5-1 in the division, 8-1 at home, 6-2 on the road. Losses to the Colts, the Chargers, and the Jaguars. So all 3 decent losses. And then they did beat 4 teams this year that are currently in the playoffs. Eagles, Texans, Packers, and Chargers. So they did finish with a 4-2 record against current playoff teams. That's nothing to shake a stick at. The New England Patriots, again, your number 2 seed. Ending the season just as hot. They were finishing with a 3-game win streak. Again, 5-1 division at home, 6-3 home record, 8-0 on the road. So they might hope for an away game that last week in the playoffs. Their losses was against the Raiders, Steelers, and Bills. And then 2 wins against playoff teams. They beat the Panthers and the Bills. So they finished at a 2-2 record against playoff teams. The Jacksonville Jaguars were 13-4. One of the hottest teams, especially to end the year. They finished with an 8-game win streak, 5-1 in the division, 7-2 at home, 6-2 away. They lost to the Bengals, Seahawks, Rams, and Texans. And then their playoff wins, or their wins against playoff teams, they beat the Panthers, Texans, Chargers, and Broncos, and 49ers. So they did finish with 5 wins. They had a 5-3 record against playoff teams. We did also have the Steelers at 4, finished at 10-7, only a 1-game win streak, but they finished 4-2 in the division, 6-3 at home, 4-4 on the road. They lost to the Seahawks, Bengals, Packers, Chargers, Bears, Bills, and Browns, and only 1 win against the playoff team. They did beat the Patriots in week 3, so they finished with a 1-5 record against playoff teams. The Houston Texans finished at 5 with a 12-5 record. They are the hottest team in the playoffs this year. The Jags, with that 8-game win streak, they have them beat by 1. They have a 9-game win streak. They are 5-1 in the division, 7-2 at home, 5-3 on the road. Their losses were against the Rams, Buccaneers, Jaguars, Seahawks, and Broncos. And their wins against playoff teams, they beat the 49ers, Jaguars, Bills, and Chargers. So they did finish with a 4-4 record. But one thing is those 4 losses came at the beginning of the season because they have not lost since end of October. October 26th. The Bills at 12-5, they ended the season with a 1-game win streak, 4-2 in the division, 7-2 at home, 5-3 on the road. They lost to the Patriots, Falcons, Dolphins, Texans, and Eagles. On their playoff team wins, they beat the Panthers, Steelers, and Patriots, finishing with a 3-3 record against playoff teams. And then rounding us out in the AFC, we have the Chargers, finishing with a 2-game losing streak. However, that second loss, they did rest all their starters, so there's something to say there. But they finished at 5-1 in the division, 6-3 at home, 5-3 on the road. Their losses were against the Giants, Commanders, Colts, Jaguars, Texans, and Broncos. And then their wins against playoff teams, they beat the Broncos, Steelers, and Eagles. So again, a 3-3 record. And then in the NFC, again, our Seahawks are the number 1 seed, 14-3 record. Also a very hot end. They finished with a 7-game win streak. No hand motions from Jay on that. Interesting.
Let's go.
They lost to the 49ers in week 1. The Buccaneers very early in the season, and the Rams. And then their playoff wins, they beat the Steelers, Jags, Texans, Rams, Panthers, and 49ers, finishing with a 6-2 record. I believe that is the best record of any team as far as playoff teams. The Chicago Bears at 11-6, they are ending on a 2-game losing streak. One of the only, just a handful of teams to have a losing streak to end the season. 2-4 in the division. Legitimately the only team on this list that I can think of with a losing record in their division. But they did go 6-2 at home, 5-4 on the road. Their losses were to the Vikings, Lions, Ravens, Packers, 49ers, and Lions. And then their playoff wins were against the Steelers, Eagles, and Packers, finishing with a 3-2 record against playoff teams. I'll also have to say it, Tato, I'm sorry. They lost to the Lions twice. One at the beginning of the year, one at the end of the year. Number 3, we have the Eagles finishing at 11-6. 1-game losing streak, very close to a 2-game win streak, but we'll talk about that later. They finished 3-3 in the division. They beat everybody once. They lost to everybody once. 5-3 at home, 6-3 on the road. Their losses was to the Broncos, Giants, Cowboys, Bears, Chargers, and then the Commanders. And then their wins were against the Rams, Packers, and Bills, meaning they also had a 3-3 record against playoff teams. Panthers, last conference winner. Again, they were 8-9, are ending the season on a 2-game losing streak. They finished 3-3 in the division, 5-3 at home, 3-6 on the road. So definitely a much better team at home than away. Their losses were to the Jags, Cardinals, Patriots, Bills, Saints, 49ers, Saints again, Seahawks, and Buccaneers. And then only 2 wins against playoff teams. They beat the Packers and the Rams, finishing at 2-4 against playoff teams. Rams went 12-5, did end the season on a 1-game win streak. We're 4-2 in the division, 7-1 at home, 5-4 on the road. Their losses were to the Eagles, 49ers, Panthers, Seahawks, and Falcons. And then they did beat the Texans, Jags, 49ers, and Seahawks. So they did finish with a 4-4 record against playoff teams. Then we have the 49ers at 12-5, also ending with a 1-game losing streak. 4-2 in the division, 5-3 at home, 7-2 on the road. Their losses were to the Jaguars, Buccaneers, Texans, Rams, and Seahawks. And then 4 wins. 4 wins. Get ready for it, Jay. They beat the Seahawks. Also beat the Rams, Panthers, and Bears, finishing with a 4-4 record. And then our final team in the playoffs is the Packers at 9-7-1. Did end on quite a bit of a losing streak. I believe it was like 3 or 4 games. For some reason, I didn't write that one down. Their losses are to the Eagles, Browns, Panthers, Broncos, Bears, Ravens, and Vikings. I want to say it was 4. And then they did have 2 wins against playoff teams. They beat the Bears and they beat the Steelers, meaning they are 2-4 against playoff teams. Jay, what are you doing?
So I'm on my phone, but I'm actually here, so I'm swapping out.
Okay. Well, you swap out. I just saw Jay pop up twice in there. There we go. Jay's still here, guys. But yeah, that was just a fun little insight into the regular season. And then with the playoffs, who made it and how they made it. But with that, gentlemen, it is time to predict the round 1 for your 2026 NFL playoffs. Starting off with game number 1 on Saturday, we have the Rams traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. I do not have spreads on these games because they have not come out with full spreads on these games yet. So we're just gonna fly by the seat of our pants. According to ESPN, the Rams have a 74% chance of winning. That's how we're gonna do this. Again, this is a rematch. Last time these two teams played each other, the Panthers won. So I'm going to go ahead and start us off. I think there's not going to be a lot of anarchy in this playoff year. There's going to be some anarchy. And the anarchy I'm predicting, I think the Panthers get the win here. And I think that's going to be kind of the only anarchy. So Papa's going with the Panthers. Tato, who are you going with?
I am going to have to disagree with the anarchy in this situation. I may have a little anarchy myself. It may tie to this division. We'll see what happens. Or one of these divisions at any rate. Well, I guess there's really only one of these divisions that's going to come up down the line now that I think about it. I did not bury the lead well.
All right. So Tato going with the Rams. And then Jay, finish us off. Who gets the win here?
Oh, here's my thing. As much as I want the Panthers to win and I want the Panthers to win, I don't know if it's gonna happen. Because I would honestly, if that happened, they would take a lot of pressure off of Seattle. Because we wouldn't have to worry about playing the Rams again. Not that we're really worried about it, but I don't know if we can do 2-point conversion magic twice, even once in the regular season and in the postseason, if it gets to that point. I do kind of have to go with the Rams on this one, though, just based on everything I've seen in the last several weeks, with the exception of, their loss to Seattle. Sorry about that. I'm not trying to bring it up to be like, haha, fuck you. But yeah. I mean, even in that loss, they were a fucking phenomenal team. They had great offense, and their defense is nothing to shake a stick at either.
Definitely. And you know what else is not something to shake a stick at? We're doing great, Uzumaki. Thank you for joining us. Throw it in the comments, everyone who's watching. Who's your prediction to win some of these games? Because I like seeing other people disagree with me because it makes me feel so smart. Next, we have.
He's got a shade. Don't let him lie to you.
Are we from the Hidden Leaf? No. Jay is apparently. I don't know what that means.
It's a Naruto reference. Yes.
I'm gonna say I can say something that's going to get me canceled. Next, we have the Packers traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. Again, these teams have split both of their matchups. And according to ESPN, the Packers have a 54.7% chance of winning. Tato, who gets the win?
Well, in that case, I will call 6% anarchy or what have you, whatever the math is on that one. Because Steiner math says I'm not doing the bit. I'm going to take the Bears on this one. The last time the Bears lost 2 games in a row, capped off by a loss to the Lions, they proceeded to win 4 games in a row after that. That is about to happen again.
All right, and Jay, who's your pick?
Fuck the Packers. Like, fuck the Packers since the Brett Favre era. Fuck the Packers. I'm gonna go with the Bears on this one. I got to.
It's funny. Brett Favre said the same exact thing like 5 times in those last couple years. This is one where I go back and forth on because I've seen these teams play each other twice. One wasn't that close. And the other one was a lot closer than it should have been. I think the Bears, when they got that win, were very lucky to get that win. They did capitalize on a Jordan Love injury, which isn't going to happen because he is healthy and ready to play. But
Which I'm happy about because Malik Willis is better. Anyway.
Well, right now he doesn't have a shoulder, so I'm not sure how much better he is.
That's mind.
Yes. So I think this game will be very tight. And it kind of makes me think that the Eagles were smart in getting the 3 seed. Because let's be honest, every team in the playoffs is good except for one team. There's one team that is absolute dog water. And I picked them to win like a couple minutes ago. Every other team, if you're like, do I have to, I can play them or any other team, you're going to pick any other team.
I forgot when you were going over the streaks, what was the Packers streak coming into this?
I want to say it was like 4 straight losses. Okay, I'll look it up. Check. Yeah. Four straight losses. Their last win was against the Bears. They lost to the Broncos, Bears, Ravens, and Vikings all in a row. But one thing that's been consistent, especially in the last 4 games, is that the Packers have really struggled on the run. Derrick Henry went off on them, made me really think I was going to win a fantasy football championship, and then the rest of the games happened. I really like DeAndre Swift. I wish he would have stayed an Eagle. Kyle Manungai. Fun fact, I knew who he was before the season started because of a bit on a BDGE trivia. And then thankfully, as watching him, I've gotten to really see how good of a runner he is. And I'm not going to talk about that Black Friday game. And so I do think that the Bears, it's going to be a close, tight game, but I think they do just enough to pull it out. All 3 of us are going with the Bears.
Yeah, they're going to pull out and finish on a Packers back.
This is a family show.
Yeah. As you have said the F word countless times in these last couple.
Hey, you can tell me not to swear. I'll try my best.
No, I'm not JB3. I just expect more out of you.
More swearing. Got it.
Next, we have the Sunday games. Our first Sunday game, the Buffalo Bills traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars in exactly what playoff football should be. 80-degree weather, nice and sunny, no wind. It's going to be great. According to ESPN, Jaguars are a 51.2% chance, or 51.2% chance of winning. So they're favored by a little bit. Jay, who's your pick here?
Fuck no. I don't. I'm going with the Bills. Give me Josh Allen. Give me Josh Allen. If I take him in fantasy, I gotta back him all the way when he makes it. No matter how heartbreaking it is when he ultimately ends up losing, before the Super Bowl.
I know, right? Again, this is This is one that I have gone back and forth on too.
I just don't like Trevor Lawrence and his stupid ass Squidward looking face.
I don't like him either, but I have been really high on the Jaguars all year. And look where it's got me. Absolutely nowhere because I lost in our I lost in every fantasy league where I had a Jaguars player in. I lost in our predictions. I'm probably going to lose on playoff predictions because we don't keep track of this. Let's be honest here. But hey, one team has been super hot. The other team, I mean, let's be honest, they managed to beat the Jets. Didn't throw a single interception. You know who else did that? Every other team to play the Jets. I think the Jaguars get the win. Tato.
I do think the narrative of this is Josh Allen's season with no Burrow, Mahomes, or Lamar to stop him continues for at least the next week. I will take Buffalo.
But wouldn't it be crazy? We go into the divisional round. There's no Patrick Mahomes. There's no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow, and no Josh Allen. Complete and total anarchy.
I remember a championship weekend with Blake Bortles and Case Keenum in it.
Those are names right there, bro.
And Nick Foles. You got to add Nick Foles on there.
Yep. That was the year.
Yes. That was a great year. Especially because that's the Eagles won the whole thing.
I was going to say dilly dilly.
Yep. All right. Speaking of Big Dick Nick Foles, we have the Eagles. 49ers traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Eagles are a 56.3% favorite. I don't know how to actually say this. Words are hard today, guys. So I'll go first on this one, unfortunately. The 49ers have been a surprise pick all year. I definitely did not see them doing this well, making the playoffs, especially when it was like every single week. This starting player on their defense went out. This starting player on their defense went out. They were on their third or fourth string defensive players at one point. And while I would love to say Eagles in a blowout, screw it. That 1 week of rest was worth it. Eagles in a blowout. Tato.
Yeah, when you said you were kind of happy about the 3 seed, I will say I am very happy about the 2 seed. I do not want, obviously it's the NFL playoffs. You're playing good teams fundamentally, especially in the back half when the divisional winners, who are kind of the schlock kings, are out of there, hypothetically. I really don't want any part of the NFC West right this second, so I'm glad to be playing the Packers. I will take the 49ers.
And Jay.
Just to drink 49er tears, I really, really want the Eagles to win. Also, that, and we'll end up having to play them, and the Eagles haven't fucking done a goddamn thing in Seattle since 2008, so I'm very comfortable with that. It's always a toss-up when it's the Niners, but having more punts than points in a game really does not give me it doesn't give me a lot of confidence in picking you as the team. Could you say it's a fluke? Could you say it's because of the opposing team's incredible dark side defense? Maybe, but you put 3 points on the board against arguably one of the best offenses in the league, and the Eagles are up there too. Again, they are in the playoffs, but still, I just don't like 49ers fans. I like the 49ers. The team is not bad, except for Dimmador Lenore, Doug Dimmadome owner, the Dinsdale Dimmadome. Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles on this one, and that fucking puts a dirty taste in my mouth. But both of these teams are fucking. Yeah, I know one's your team, but still.
I wear that with a badge of honor. And then our Sunday night football game, because yes, Sunday night football is still a thing in the playoffs. We have the Chargers traveling to New England to take on the Patriots. Patriots are predicted 54.4% chance of winning. Tato, start us off.
Yep, gotta go with my boy Drake May. All-time nickname team, I will say. Look for that question as Lights Out returns this season. What player is nicknamed Drake May? That'll be a fun one for all involved. I'm going to take the Patriots.
All right, and Jay.
Here's my thing. I've been talking a lot about this in my Pokemon streams at work. Because I do have a fan who comes in. I do have a guy who comes in whose name is Drake May Lover. And he obviously really likes the Patriots. So here's my thing. This is a request from Drake May. Swallow your pride and let Jay Herbo do his thing. I'm taking the Chargers.
All right. Well, the Chargers have also been a surprise team for me. I predicted them to finish third. I thought they would do decent. And after hearing not one, but two of their starting tackles being gone for the season, I definitely did not think that they would finish as well as they did. But one thing still holds true, and that's when Justin Herbert's in the playoffs, he throws 6 interceptions, blows giant leads. You know who doesn't blow leads? You know who is the blower of leads? That's the Patriots. Words.
What? The blower of leads means that he blows leads. What are you talking about?
No,
Your words
blow them. They're the ones who get blown against. The Falcons blew that 28-3 lead against who? Against the Patriots.
Not with Drake May on their team.
You're not wrong. I feel dirty in saying that I think the Patriots win, but I do think the Patriots get the win. Which then we move on to Monday Night Football, because apparently Monday Night Football is still a thing, even in the playoffs. As the Texans travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Jay, who is your pick?
You said Texans and Steelers?
Texans at Steelers.
Okay. I don't even know how the fucking Steelers decided that they were going to show themselves up into the playoffs. But all right. This one, shout out to Mr. Sinister and Little Sinister and Mrs. Sinister. W is for watermelon. W is what Texans are going to get, baby.
The Texans have been the hottest team basically in the last 8 weeks. One more win than the Jaguars have. But it's all right, because at the end of this week they'll be tied. No, I'm kidding. I do think the Texans win. They're going to knock Aaron Rodgers into his darkness retreat in the middle of the game. He's going to be like, I got to go to a cave. I'll be back later.
I need some ayahuasca and some Percocet.
Yeah. He doesn't have smelling salts on him. He just straight up has ayahuasca in those. But no, I will say Jay says that the Seahawks have the best defense and the Eagles are right up there. I think the Texans have the best defense, especially you tilt your head, you little owl, especially in the last 4 or 5 weeks. They have been scary. And I think, they're going to pick apart the Steelers offensive line and pick apart Aaron Rodgers. So I have the Texans, and Tato finish us off.
Yeah, I'll agree with your consensus on that one. I do think the Texans defense is just absolutely terrifying right now. CJ is playing solid. The old generic field general football, game manager, as it were. Houston Texans get this W.
Yeah, I must say, I think the craziest thing about the Texans run is that it started with 4 games from Davis Mills and then ended with 4 games from CJ Stroud. So just it shows you.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
backup quarterback matters.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But Tato, thank you so much for joining me in this journey of the regular season as we continue in the next couple of weeks up until the Super Bowl. Jay, thank you so much for being the first celebrity guest picker of TMG Takes the Field. Ended up being a great showing because nobody could do better than you. It's definitely something we'll have to do later. For everybody in the chat, thank you so much. Everybody watching, thank you so much. Be sure to throw down your survivor pick who's guaranteed to get a win this week. And give me your Super Bowl favorite. Who you think's going to win it all? And if you like really cool energy, scan that QR code. It takes you to w.gg. Get 10% off your order by scanning that QR code. You don't have to remember a coupon code anymore because just by scanning that right there automatically gives you that 10% off. And if you like live streams, there's a link down below in the description to try StreamYard. Gets you like $25 off, I think. Not sure exactly what it is. You got to read those terms and conditions. But for everybody from TMG Entertainment, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, make smart choices. Or don't, because I really don't care. Not your dad. Not your dad. But I could be your papa.